Fawn
and Matt. We're an interracial couple with 2 kids wanting to do something that highlights the power of friendship and what it means to be in the company of true friends. We're going to move our society away and out of the loneliness epidemic and into a friendlier, happier world. Welcome to our friendly world. Better, stronger, together.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our friendly world.
Hello.
Okay, so something happened a few days ago, and this is a perfect example about timing, how we're all interconnected, and trust. And it's all wrapped up like a spider web, like a web. Everything is connected, like the fascia in our bodies. Doctors, I think to this day, I don't think they understand what it is. But you know, like people who eat meat, when you slice raw meat, there's that film underneath the skin. You know, when you're slicing, this is terrible.
No.
There's this web-like tissue that's stretchy and sticky. Anyway, our bodies have that, and it's sticky, and it absorbs nutrients, and it also absorbs toxins and everything, and it can be flushed out if you have a massage or if you're drinking water. It detoxes. It's a vital structure of the body that is totally in sync with your health. But it's like a web, and I'm thinking everything is a web, like a spider web. If you think about the internet, the web. Anyway, so remember we were talking about, I think it was last week, we brought up trust. How at a moment in one part of my life where things were so bad and I had lost everything, like faith, everything. And this man came into my life and he's like, I have one word for you, and that's trust. And he said, he explained to me everything that he had been through, and miraculous things happened to him. I don't think he had an NDE, but he was close, like a near-death experience. Anyway, he was shown just the word trust, and then he looked into it and he broke it down, and he's like, if you just even are open to the concept of what trust is, it liberates you and it releases you from so much, and it actually brings about this total calm. He didn't say faith. Honestly, I don't remember his exact words because I was going through major trauma at the time, but I do remember that. He even gave me a book, I think he wrote, that was titled Trust. I think. I don't even remember. But that message stayed with me about the trust. So here's what happened to us. Just an example of how it is and how we are completely connected, even though we don't see it. And we always hear about there's so many miracles happening that it would be great if we were privy. If we were privy to knowing what is actually taking place, but we don't. So that's why spiritual people will tell you, may your miracles be revealed to you, because really they're happening all the time, but may they be revealed to you so you can see, like, oh, that's what's happening. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, so example. So a few days ago, I ordered walnuts. We're vegan, so walnuts are a huge part of our diet. I make like beef crumble, like quote unquote beef. I make so many things with walnuts. I find that my personal experience, it's really good for the brain. It actually looks like a brain if you look at a walnut.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
It's a good source of protein. It's got some good fat in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
So anyway, I was tired of getting little packages that cost a lot of money from the store, so I had it ordered online, and it shows up. I opened the package, and the whole thing had exploded. Like someone opened this big jar of walnuts. Not only opened the cap, you know, the thing you turn, the lid, but also the it's usually like aluminum or something that peels away.
Right. Yeah,
So
it has an
tight.
inner seal, as it were.
No inner seal, none of that. And all the walnuts were in this package. So I was trying to return it. And they're like, okay, well, you have to bring it in. So we had to take it, seal it back up, and take it to the facility to like show them, hey, this came like this so we can get our money back. Anyway, so I had this waiting at the door. Get all dressed. I was going to go. And then Matt's like, hey, I'll come with you. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay. We'll turn it into a little date. So something happened while I was putting my shoes on. I had the package of walnuts right there in front of me. And then an envelope was on the ground. So I'm like, well, let me put this envelope in the recycling in the garage. Somehow something made me totally forget the walnuts that were right in front of me. I put on my shoes. I took the envelope that was on the ground to recycle, and I left the walnuts behind. Matt, you were right behind me.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even
totally
notice.
Clueless.
You didn't even notice the walnuts were still like
right.
So we lock the door. We go to. I go to the garage. You go to the car. I put the thing in the recycling. Close the garage. Get in the car, and we're halfway there, driving to that shipping place, and I'm like, oh my god, I left it. I didn't even bring it. We have to go back, and I'm thinking, how is that possible? Like, come on, what's wrong with me? Why? Because now we have to drive. And, we have things to do, and it's like taking up time. And I'm like, I don't know. What? And then I start getting down on myself, like, how could I be so forgetful? But as I started to have these thoughts, the word trust came into my head. I'm like, okay, there's a reason for this. All right, I'm not going to fight it. Okay, God. All right, let me just calmly, without fighting on any level, like fighting myself, saying, why did I do this? What?
Or fighting with me, saying, why didn't you?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, man, how come you didn't see it?
Oh, oops. I mean.
So we drive all the way back home, go up the driveway, walk up the thing, and open the door. And I'm like, Matt, you go get it. I'll circle around, so I'll have the car waiting in this direction. Okay, so while we were doing this, I was telling Matt about the whole trust thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's interesting. I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to have this calm about how this was meant to happen for whatever reason. And I will be at peace with that. I'm not going to want to gain anything from it. Like, I may not know why, but there's a reason for it. And we totally forgot about it. Like, there's a reason for it. Well, we totally forgot, right?
I was just enjoying being with you. Come on.
Me too. So we drove, we ended up doing some shopping, and then we returned the thing, and then we drive home. And when we get home, there are all these packages outside of our door.
There are all these bags, yes.
All these bags, and I'm like, I didn't order anything. But there's this joke, because I've been ordering so much the last few years, like the last 3 years. So much from Amazon. Like, we finally became members. I've been shopping a lot on Amazon. So there's this joke, like a goat could show up at our front door, and I'm like, yeah, that tracks. Like, sometimes I don't know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? Because I order necessities all the time. And then every day it's like a present. Like, oh, what's here? Oh, yeah, I ordered that. We need that. It's usually walnuts or something. Anyway, so there were all these bags. And I'm like, and it's Matt's birthday. So I'm like, Matt, don't look at them, because it could be something the kids and I got you, and I don't want you to see. But of course he doesn't listen to me. So he goes up there, and we go up to the bags, and we're staring at them, and they felt like they weren't ours. Isn't that funny? Like, it felt wrong. And we're looking, and there were all these groceries in there, not from a store we normally go to. I'm like, huh. So I guess someone had ordered through Instacart.
Yeah, somebody ordered from Instacart, and
it was most of it was non-vegan, right?
Exactly.
Like meats stuff, and we're like, oh my god, like, what do we do? Like, because we don't, like, it's gonna spoil,
right.
And who is this person? You tried to look into
and that's just it. There was a little label on it that had a last name and a first initial, I think.
Yeah, because when we get ours, we get like a code name.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a code.
Like, it's not a person's name. It's like.
But this one appeared to have someone's name, but we didn't know who this person was. Oh my goodness! So of course our next door neighbor seemed to know everybody and everything. So I went over there and I asked, "Hey, who is this person?" And my neighbor, who I hang out with at the gas station, is like, "I don't know."
And he knows everybody.
And he seems to know everybody, but like knowing someone's last name and first name is different than like, hey, it's Jim versus, hey, it's Mr. James, blah, 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 you know?
So he tracked them down.
So closed the door, came back home, and I'm like, okay, fine, let's leave him on the front step. And if someone comes, there was like 3 packages of chips. Oh, 3 big bags of chips. I was
tortilla chips. Matt likes the tortilla chips.
Oh yeah. If nobody comes, those are so ours. And so just sitting, and like 20 minutes later, my next door neighbor knocks on the door, and he's like, "Oh my God, yes, it's this person at this address. It's the same number as our house." And I was like,
and we know the guy. Like
well,
both
hold
our households.
Hold on, I'm getting to that.
Okay, sorry.
I'm getting to that. So I was like, oh man, really? Shoot, because now all of a sudden we're going to launch an expedition. So
you guys were going to carry it. You were going to carry it. I'm like, no, Matt,
well, I was
that's
trying
too
to
many
figure out
groceries.
how to carry it. I was like, should we put it in the car? Should we?
And then I got this new, those wagons people have, like it's all like perfect. I'm like, oh, we can use this wagon, and the whole house was like, yeah, let's use the wagon. I'm like, you know what? No, because I don't want it to get dirty.
No.
So I'm like, why don't we use our Santa Monica shopping cart? We still have,
which is this old school kind of tall,
like a
cart
granny
thing that you
like
slot all your bags. You stack your bags in, right?
So I'm like, kids, why don't you go?
Right. And so our oldest grabs the cart and brings it to the front door.
But
we load it up.
I specifically made the 3 of you go.
Yeah, because you were sick and tired. No.
No, I was not. No, that's not true. And I usually don't push you guys around. But in this case, I don't know what came over me. I'm like, I want the 3 of you to go. You guys go. Okay, go ahead, Matt.
Okay, thank you. So anyways, trip. Okay, so we're like, okay, so it's on this street, and okay, let's go. And so we start walking, and we walk, and all of a sudden we like figure out, oh my God, this is the person we know. This is just Bill from.
Yeah, it's Bill.
It's Bill who I, rode my bike for hours with. This is, I haven't seen him lately, but hey, it must be him, even though it said W on the bag.
William.
He's Bill. I've always known him as Bill. So, but everything matched, and so we went, took out all the bags, put them in the shade, knocked on his door. Nobody answered. Oh. Anyways, dropped him off and said, okay, then, boom, and started walking home
with the kids.
And so we're all just walking, and
this was several blocks away, by the way.
Right. So we're walking, and then as we're walking, there was an older woman walking. I didn't recognize her.
Yeah, the kids said that she looked completely off.
And
like
I was
wearing different shoes even. Like
getting to that.
Okay, sorry.
And so, I'm feeling like in a good mood, like, hey, I did my good deed for the day. I dropped some groceries off, blah, 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 blah. And I'm talking with my youngest, and then we kind of walked right past her. But then she starts like and then she asked, hey, can I walk with you guys?
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that part.
She said, can I walk with you guys? And so the kids are like, sure, why not? So we slowed way down. She was walking very slow.
And this is why I'm glad that I was like, hey, kids, I want you guys to go together. Go with Dad. She would not have said that if you were alone.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Because now you're with kids, so you're not dangerous. Because you look dangerous.
Less dangerous.
Matt, you guys.
I am less
looks dangerous. Matt looks like you don't want to. Like when I first met Matt, I thought he was like a gangster.
You walk with purpose. Okay? Anyways, and then she starts mumbling. And then it gradually dawns on me, I think this is our neighbor from across the street, but she didn't look like she did. And she's spinning a story about how she had to leave her house. Somebody was trying to break in, ... Now she's an older lady. She's retired many years back, lives with her son.
And our youngest was saying that she actually wasn't making sense because she was slurring her speech.
She was slurring her speech a little bit. And then she was talking about she had pictures, and she was going to go down to the police station and tell the police. Now, the police station is 3 or 4 miles from our home.
In another direction. And she was headed towards the water, is what the kids told me.
Well, she was coming back from, but she was going to
She was clearly lost.
She was going to walk on the big street with all the fast cars and everything. Now, fortunately, at that point, our across the street neighbor, her next door neighbor, pulled in with her car. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness she's here. And so we were like, hey, let's just go see your next door neighbor and let's see if she knows anything. And so, I keep saying neighbor and neighbor because I don't want to name names and I want to try and be very conscious of that.
The one that lives they share a door basically, and they're friends.
Right.
They go on walks together. They're more familiar
now, with that said,
are.
The woman didn't recognize me at all. She had no idea who I was.
And before that, she totally knew you was Matt. She would say, hey, Matt.
I know.
Yeah.
So we went to go see our across the street neighbor, and I basically said, hey, can you listen to her and talk to her? And then it was almost like I ran away, but I ran away because I went next door to go knock on the door to see if her son was there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody answered the door. But anyways, so I came back. I sent the kids home at that point. So now it's just...
Now that kids come home and they're like trying to tell me what happened.
And you're confused.
You don't even know, Matt. I was scared because I could feel something had happened. And I was worried that something happened to you.
Right.
And the kids are slow to getting to the point. They were like, oh my God, Mom. Oh my God, Mom. I was like...
Get to it.
And I think I almost started to like kind of skew over. And then luckily our youngest was like, Mom, everything's fine. We're fine. Dad's fine. And I was like, okay.
Now I can listen.
No, but I was still freaked out because obviously you still were not home.
Obviously,
it's been a while.
Happened, right.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyways, so the upshot is we called the local police.
Oh,
because that's what she wanted to do.
Yeah, the next door neighbor, the neighbor of the woman that we're talking about that was confused, told you to call the police, right?
Well, yeah, but she actually called the police.
And she said, Matt, stay with me.
Stay with me. Exactly.
While the police come.
Right.
Okay.
And that's totally fine. And so we hung out with this woman who's, we found out was suffering from dementia. So the cops come and they're very, very, they're really nice here, honestly.
Can I interject?
They're like trained to be good communicators.
Can I interject something? So while we're driving from the walnut delivery, out of the blue, I started talking about how my friend Sarah a couple years ago was talking about her mother-in-law and some other people that same age group, that when they get UTIs, it shows up as like the same kind of symptoms of like total severe forgetfulness and like incoherent speech.
Mm-hmm.
And people think it's dementia or Alzheimer's, but it's like the root of it is the UTI, which is interesting. So out of the blue, this is before we go back to our house and discover the groceries. Out of the blue, I started saying this in the car on the drive home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, isn't that interesting? Like, I don't know why I brought that up. But all of a sudden, I brought up that story like out loud, and I told Matt about it. And that same day, I think your dad was diagnosed with something like that.
Yes.
He had an infection and was at the hospital, and they think he has like some memory issues. And I'm like, isn't it interesting how? So again, one of the synchronicities we forgot to mention was that.
Right.
Okay, go on.
So the policeman shows up. He talks to the lady, which is good. And then another cop shows up, and then the two of them take our neighbor to her house, and they're much more emphatic on knocking at the door. And her son was home. Her grown son was home, and he was just asleep.
Yeah, he has the night shift.
And so everything was sorted.
Right.
But if you think about it, if you really start thinking about my story and how tenuous the threads are that hold it all together.
Had we... Like, I didn't even realize you brought this up because I was like, oh, thank goodness we got the delivery, the missed delivery. Like, can you imagine how God works or the universe works? I don't want to like trigger anybody who's not religious or anything like that, but let's just look at it this way. Had whatever happened to first of all, the person who ordered the groceries was involved.
Right.
They ordered the groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened to the delivery guy to make a radically like weird mistake of like, why our house? Several blocks away. Like, why our house?
Right.
It wasn't like it was delivered to the wrong door on the same street. Completely different neighborhood. Like, seriously? Okay. And then for me to say, hey, kids, make sure you go with dad.
Well, it's more than that. I mean, had we
carry the pretty.
had we not forgotten the walnuts, we might have been
I
home
was gonna
20
get to
minutes
that.
earlier.
I was going to get to that because you brought that up later. Like, it was because of the timing it took for us to get back at that particular moment. And then because of that, then at that moment to take the groceries away.
Right.
Back to the original owner, intersected you perfectly with this woman that clearly needed help. I was like, thank God you guys were there because who knows where she would have ended up.
Right.
She was walking along the river. You know, it's pretty woodsy out there. She could have, like, you could have very well saved her life.
She could have also wandered into traffic because she was going to the big street where people drive really quite too fast.
Yeah.
And on and on and on. I mean, a million things. Like, had the delivery driver knocked on the door and we opened it and said, these aren't ours, take them somewhere else.
Right. Because,
there's not a million, but there's an interesting number of things that could have been
because
different.
people were home at our house. There was no knock or anything. Like, had they knocked,
right,
our house would have said, even though we weren't there, they would have said, oh, these aren't ours.
Right. And then also, had we been home 20 minutes earlier, we wouldn't have even seen the groceries.
And just, the fact that you were walking with the kids, so you looked more friendly and approachable because she didn't recognize you.
Right.
And also that red shopping cart that I made you guys take. It's like very granny looking, but it's also very happy looking. So it's not threatening, it's
and
like,
had we not seen our neighbor turn in, I would have been at a loss for what to do. I mean, this is an elder and she was making just enough sense. I might have let her go. I can't imagine, but in hindsight, I can't imagine thinking that. But in the moment, it's like, oftentimes we get so distracted by our own malarkey that we can't necessarily identify someone who needs help.
So this is just one example. Think about all the things that come together to work so perfectly synchronized for a good outcome. We could have said it's not a good outcome. I lost like money with the walnuts and I had to go and drive and like deliver it over here. We forgot it, blah, blah, blah. It could have all been negative, but if you have the mindset of like, okay, I don't know why, but I got to trust that there's a pattern here I'm not recognizing, but it's holding all of us together and helping. We're all helping one another.
Right.
In some way. And sometimes it looks terrible and you're like, how could this be helping? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There have been so many cases where like we look back and we're like, oh my God, that is amazing how that happened.
We got lucky.
Yeah. So many examples. And I mean, even before this happened, the night before, I was thinking about synchronicities because we were watching a documentary on The Wizard of Oz and how that was created by the writer. The things that came together and over like all these years, all the connections and the synchronicities to make what is now this huge hit with Wicked and how that came together. Like, and while the documentary was pretty innocuous and like just saying, oh, this is how this person met and this is how this idea came about. Meanwhile, I keep pausing it going, whoa, do they realize had this couple not gotten married because they got married, because they said, oh, we're going to have a destination wedding. Oh, let's hire this musician to come. For that musician to say, okay, I'll take that job, even though it's not really what I do. And then having his friend, calling his friend saying, hey, I'm doing this job at a wedding. You want to just come hang out? And then when I'm done, we can go snorkeling or something. And then last second, the guy drops everything. He's like, sure, I'll go. He hops on a plane. They go. The guy does the wedding gig. The next day, they're snorkeling. They're on a boat. This one person is talking about this obscure random book that no one knows about that was called Wicked. No one knew about it back then. This was a long time ago. And the guy like goes home, is immediately obsessed. And so he finds the book and he reads the book, and immediately he's like, whoa. And basically this is the story of how the person that does the score ended up working with the writer of Wicked. And I guess it was just a Broadway musical thing, and it never would have turned into what it is now had these people not connected. And so the writer was saying, yeah, I knew that the person who does the music, the score, he got what I was truly writing. No other executive, no other creative person actually got it, even though they were trying to work a deal. No one really got the true meaning of it. But this guy did, because the first score that he came up with, the title of it was something about nobody mourns the wicked. And so from that title, the writer of Wicked was like, this guy gets it. That's exactly like behind the meaning that anyway, you have to see the documentary. I'm like totally, my mind is blown. But I was telling the kids, I'm like, look at this. For this, like, it took all these synchronicities that we would never see in life as it's happening.
Right.
But it's meant, like, it brings people together. Like, look at how interconnected everything is. And then from that documentary, I ended up watching a documentary on Journey, the musical band Journey, and how their story developed. Meanwhile, I'm pausing it and understanding on my own. Like, whoa, if the lead singer had not been so adamant about quitting the band, years down the line with all the pain and all the mistrust, that he saved this kid's life from the Philippines that ended up sounding just like him, and who's now the lead singer of Journey. And then I watched this like 2-second clip of them meeting backstage at some award ceremony where the kid was like holding Steve's hand, the lead singer from before, and like it was so like, I was crying, both the guys were crying. Like, I'm like, look at that. There's a reason for everything. You have to have trust. And and I was told this when I was going through major hardship. Life, I thought, was over. Like, it was so messed up. And for someone back then to say, just to throw that word at me, like trust, I mean, I could have, and a part of me felt like, shut up. Like, in such rage, like, what a flippant thing to tell me at a time like this. But at the same time, I understood what he was saying. I understood that he also developed that concept of the whole trust thing while he was going through major, terrible stuff. So I'm passing this along to you guys. You just, even if you can't trust, just think of the word trust, and that's enough sometimes. And hopefully it'll be shown to you. Guaranteed it's already being done for the highest good. But hopefully it'll be shown to you why.
Right.
The magic of it.
Right. And sometimes you're part of something wonderful and you have no idea. Like the delivery driver has no idea the string of events.
He has no idea he could have saved this woman's life.
Right.
By a mistake he made. Who knows? He could have, like, he may have gotten in trouble at work, but it was part of the plan.
Right.
Anyway, that's it.
Okay.
Have a beautiful every day.
Be well, everyone.